What if the reason they're not chasing you has nothing to do with your looks, your personality, or how much you care? What if it's because you're sending the wrong signals without even realizing it? Most people think attraction is built by proving themselves, but that often makes them look less valuable. Today, I'm challenging everything you think you know about getting someone to want you more. And the final signal may be the hardest one to do, because it requires you to leave before you want to. 1. You don't over-explain yourself. Here's one of the biggest signs of someone who has strong attraction power. They don't constantly explain why they are the way they are. Imagine someone asks why you didn't reply right away. A person who's trying too hard might panic and say, "I'm so sorry, I was busy. Then my phone died. Then I got caught up, and I really didn't mean to seem rude, and I hope you're not upset." That sounds harmless, but underneath it, the energy says, "Please don't misunderstand me. Please still like me. Please don't pull away." Now compare that to someone who simply says, "I was tied up earlier, but I'm here now." That's it. No panic, no emotional scrambling, no long courtroom defense. This signal is powerful because people are drawn to those who seem comfortable inside themselves. When you over-explain, you make it seem like their opinion has too much control over your emotional state. But when you communicate clearly without begging to be understood, you send a different message. You're saying, "I respect you, but I'm not auditioning for you." And that matters. Because attraction grows when someone senses that you're not desperately trying to manage how they see you. You don't need to correct every assumption. You don't need to prove your value every 5 minutes. You don't need to turn every small misunderstanding into a dramatic emotional presentation. Think of it like walking into a nice restaurant. The best places don't have someone outside screaming, "Please come in, our food is amazing, I promise." They simply exist with confidence. The atmosphere speaks for itself. That's the energy you want. You can explain when it's necessary. You can clarify when it matters. But you don't need to over-explain your life, your boundaries, your schedule, your feelings, or your choices just to keep someone interested. The right amount of explanation creates trust. Too much explanation creates pressure. And pressure kills attraction. 2. You respond from calm, not hunger. One of the clearest signals that makes someone chase you is emotional steadiness. Most people are easy to read when they really like someone. They start reacting instead of responding. If the person texts, they light up. If the person takes longer to reply, they spiral. If the person seems slightly distant, they start checking their phone every 2 minutes, rereading messages, wondering what changed, and the other person can feel it. Even if you don't say anything dramatic, your energy gives it away. You become too available emotionally, too affected, too dependent on whether they give you attention. But when you respond from calm, something different happens. You don't punish them for being busy. You don't reward them like they just saved your life when they finally reply. You don't become cold, but you also don't become eager in a way that makes your interest feel unlimited. You simply stay centered. If they text, great. You engage. If they don't, you continue living. That balance is attractive because it creates emotional safety and curiosity at the same time. They can feel that you like them, but they can also feel that your entire world doesn't revolve around them. And that's where the chase begins. Because people don't chase what is desperately clinging to them. They chase what feels warm but not needy, present but not dependent, interested but not starving. Imagine offering someone a glass of water when they're thirsty. That feels good. Now imagine forcing the glass into their hand, staring at them and saying, "Drink it. Please drink it. Why aren't you drinking it?" Suddenly, what was refreshing starts feeling uncomfortable. Attention works the same way. Your attention should feel like a gift, not a demand. When you respond from hunger, you silently ask, "Do you still want me?" When you respond from calm, you communicate, "I'm open to this, but I'm already whole." That's the difference. 3. You reveal yourself slowly. Mystery is not about being confusing. It's not about pretending to be unavailable or giving one-word answers just to seem interesting. Real mystery comes from pacing. People become deeply intrigued when they feel there is more to discover about you, but they don't get access to everything all at once. Most people make the mistake of emotionally dumping too soon. In the first few conversations, they tell their whole life story, their childhood wounds, their relationship history, their insecurities, their fears, their plans, their ex-drama, their deepest dreams, everything. And while vulnerability can create connection, too much too soon can overwhelm attraction. Why? Because attraction needs space to build. Think of a great movie. It doesn't reveal the ending in the first 5 minutes. It gives you just enough to lean in. A detail here. A clue there. A moment that makes you wonder what's coming next. You want to be the same way. Not fake, not closed off, just paced. You can share something meaningful, then let the other person meet you there. You can reveal a layer, then see how they handle it. You can allow curiosity to grow instead of trying to force intimacy overnight. This signal works because people value what they gradually earn access to. When someone feels like they are slowly being invited into your world, they become more invested. They start paying closer attention. They remember details. They ask more questions. They want to understand you. But if you hand them the whole map immediately, there's nothing left to explore. This applies to emotional availability, personal stories, affection, and even your daily routine. You don't have to report every move. You don't have to reveal every thought. You don't have to give someone instant access to every part of you just because there's chemistry. Let them discover you. Let them wonder a little. Let them earn depth through consistency. Because when your presence has layers, people don't just look at you, they lean in. If this part made sense, comment, paste. Let's see who knows that revealing less at first can actually make someone want more. 4. You don't chase inconsistent energy. This one is huge. If you want someone to chase you, you must stop rewarding inconsistency. A lot of people say they want to be pursued, but then they give their best energy to people who barely show up. Someone texts once every 3 days, and they respond instantly. Someone cancels plans, and they act like it's no big deal. Someone gives mixed signals, and they try harder to win them over. That teaches the other person a dangerous lesson. It says, you can give me crumbs, and I'll still give you the whole meal. And once someone learns that, they don't feel the need to chase. Why would they? They're already getting access without effort. The signal you want to send is different. You can be kind. You can be understanding. You can give people room to have a life, but you do not keep investing deeply in someone who only appears when it's convenient for them. If their energy drops, you don't panic. You mirror reality, not in a petty way, not to punish them, but because your effort should match the level of mutual investment. If they are warm, consistent, and intentional, you meet that. If they are vague, distant, and unreliable, you step back. That step back is not a game. It's self-respect. And self-respect is one of the strongest attraction signals there is. People often don't realize what they value until access changes. When you stop overgiving, they suddenly feel the difference. They notice that your energy is not automatic. They realize your attention is connected to how they show up. It's like a favorite song. If it plays nonstop, it becomes background noise. But when it disappears, you suddenly remember how much you liked it. Your presence should not be background noise. It should be something people notice, appreciate, and treat with care. So don't chase inconsistent energy. Let inconsistency meet distance. Let clarity meet warmth. Let effort meet effort. That's how you teach people how to value you without saying a word. 5. You have a life they can't fully access. This signal might be the most underrated. People become more attracted to you when they sense that your life is already full, meaningful, and moving with or without them. Not because you're trying to make them jealous, not because you're pretending to be busy, but because you genuinely have your own world. You have friends, goals, routines, interests, passions, private moments, things you care about that have nothing to do with being chosen by someone else. That kind of energy is magnetic, because when someone can tell that you're not waiting around for them to give your life meaning, they start wondering how they can become part of your world. Most people do the opposite. The moment they like someone, they start clearing their schedule. They become too flexible, too available, too willing to cancel themselves just to be picked. At first, that might seem flattering, but over time, it makes them feel like your life has too much empty space. And empty space can create pressure. When you have your own life, your attention feels more valuable. A date with you feels like something intentional, not something you were just waiting around to accept. A conversation with you feels like a window into a full world, not a lifeline from someone who has nothing else going on. Imagine 2 stores. One is always empty, always desperate for customers, with a huge sign saying, "Please come in." The other has people inside, soft lighting, good music, and an atmosphere that makes you curious. Which one feels more attractive? Exactly. Your life is the atmosphere, so build it. Go to the gym, take the class, see your friends, work on your goals, read the book, take the trip, create things, learn things, become someone who is not emotionally unemployed, waiting for a romantic assignment. When your life has momentum, people feel it, and when they feel it, they don't want to be your whole world. They want to be invited into it. Drop the word rare below if you've ever realized your attention became more valuable the moment you stopped giving all of it away. 6. You make them feel seen, not worshipped. There's a big difference between making someone feel valued and making them feel like they're above you. A lot of people confuse attraction with admiration. They think, if I compliment them enough, praise them enough, hype them up enough, they'll want me more. But too much admiration too soon can create imbalance. It puts the other person on a pedestal. And the problem with a pedestal is that once someone is above you, they're no longer beside you. The signal that creates real pursuit is not worship. It's recognition. You notice specific things about them. You pay attention. You see beyond the obvious. Instead of saying, "You're so perfect," you might say, "I like how calm you are when things get chaotic." Instead of saying, "You're the most amazing person I've ever met," you might say, "You have a way of making people feel comfortable. That's rare." See the difference? One feels like pressure. The other feels like being seen. People crave being seen because most of the world only reacts to the surface: their looks, their status, their confidence, their charm, their image. But when you notice something deeper, you stand out. The key is to do it without giving away your power. You can appreciate them without acting like they are your prize. You can compliment them without sounding like you're trying to be chosen. You can express interest while still keeping your dignity. That balance is extremely attractive. It says, "I see your value, and I have value too." And that is the foundation of real chemistry. Think of it like holding a mirror. You're not bowing down. You're reflecting something true back to them. And when someone feels seen in your presence, they start associating you with emotional depth. They begin to think, "This person gets me." And when someone feels understood without feeling pressured, they naturally want more. 7. You create emotional contrast. Attraction needs contrast. If you are always serious, the connection can feel heavy. If you are always joking, it can feel shallow. If you are always available, there's no tension. If you are always distant, there's no warmth. The people who become unforgettable know how to create emotional contrast. They can be playful, then sincere, warm, then focused, open, then a little mysterious. They can tease lightly, then say something thoughtful. They can make someone laugh, then make them think. This creates depth, because the other person doesn't feel like they've figured you out in one emotional note. Imagine listening to a song with only one beat, one instrument, one volume, the whole time. Even if it starts off good, eventually your brain tunes it out. But a song with highs, lows, pauses, rhythm changes, and unexpected moments keeps your attention. You want your energy to have rhythm. This doesn't mean being unpredictable in a toxic way. It doesn't mean hot and cold. It doesn't mean giving affection one day and disappearing the next. That's not contrast. That's instability. Healthy contrast is when your personality has range. You can flirt without becoming desperate. You can be kind without becoming soft in every boundary. You can be emotionally available without being emotionally exposed all the time. You can be fun without becoming a clown. You can be deep without turning every conversation into therapy. This range makes someone curious. They start wondering which side of you they'll see next. Not because they're anxious, but because they're engaged. One day they see your playful side. Another day your ambition. Another day your calm. Another day your standards. Another day your vulnerability. Layer by layer, they become more invested. The goal is not to perform. The goal is to stop shrinking yourself into one version just to be liked. Some people become overly agreeable because they're afraid of losing attraction. They hide their opinions. They soften their edges. They try to be whatever the other person wants. But attraction grows when someone senses there is a real person in front of them. Not a performance. Not a people pleaser. A real person with warmth, boundaries, humor, depth, and self-respect. That emotional contrast makes you memorable. And memorable people get chased. 8. You leave first sometimes. This final signal is simple, but powerful. Don't always wait until the energy dies before you leave. End the conversation while it still feels good. Leave the date when there's still a little spark in the air. Say goodnight before the texting becomes dry and forced. Why? Because people remember the emotional peak. If every interaction with you ends in boredom, exhaustion, or overextension, the connection starts to feel heavy. But if you know how to leave while the energy is still alive, they're left wanting more. It's like a great dessert. The perfect amount makes you think, "I could have one more bite." Too much makes you uncomfortable. So don't overstay emotionally. Be warm. Be present. Enjoy the moment. Then leave a little space. That space is where anticipation grows. And anticipation is what makes someone come back, text again, plan again, and wonder about you when you're not there. And once someone starts moving toward you, the next thing you have to understand is what their words are really doing. Because attraction almost never announces itself directly. It usually hides underneath the conversation first, in the teasing, the pauses, the sudden change in tone, the playful comment that feels like it means more than it says. That's where most people miss it. They think someone is just being friendly, just joking, or just keeping the conversation light, when really there may be sexual subtext sitting underneath the words. And if you don't know how to catch that shift, you can miss the exact moment the conversation stops being casual and starts becoming charged. So now that you know the signals that make them chase, the next video shows you the signs of sexual subtext in conversation, so you can recognize when they're saying one thing on the surface, but communicating something very different underneath.